Folks, I'm about to take your pizza IQ to a genius level. Watch this. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. I'm Ed Herman, the Godfather of Law, but today I'm the Godfather of Pizza, and I'm going to teach each of you about the 4 major styles of pizza in the United States, what makes them special, different, and delicious. Let's start with St. Louis. You can't come to St. Louis without trying the pizza. So what makes St. Louis pizza special? I want to show you some slices here. Look at that crust. See, it's almost non-existent. It is thin and crispy. Now, as far as the taste goes, I wasn't ready to take a bite yet, but trust me, if you were here smelling this and you had it that close to your nose, I don't care what I'm recording, I gotta stop and take a bite. That's really good. Everything in St. Louis is always a little bit sweeter. So if you have St. Louis barbecue, you know that you're gonna get it a little sweeter, not as tangy. The sauce has a little bit more sugar. Even the crust has a little sweetener in it. What are the other advantages of St. Louis pizza? You get your pizza fast in St. Louis. A St. Louis style thin crust pizza, 8 to 12 minutes in the oven, delicious every time. The other nice thing with St. Louis pizza, he almost cuts it all in little squares. So nobody's really paying attention to how much you're eating. I mean, you could be eating a lot of squares and like nobody's counting. What's the biggest thing that distinguishes St. Louis pizza from all the other pizzas? It's the cheese. This is Provel, and what you get is a beautiful, gooey, melted cheese. Can you see that on top? You get that nice kind of, that crispy cheese. You know that crispy, hard cheese? Oh my God, it just works. Welcome to New York. Believe me, when I see this pizza, this takes me right back to my youth because I'm from New York originally. So when I think of pizza in my head, this is exactly what I'm picturing. Of course, what makes the New York pizza special is the hand-tossed. This is what you kind of pictured pizza being like when you grew up. You watch TV, you watch the movies, you see the guys doing this thing with it. That's to make this. New York pizza is the simplest and most perfect pizza that there is in that it has hand-tossed crust, sauce, and cheese, and a real crust on top. Nobody stuffed this with anything. Nobody had to. This in and of itself was perfect. The atmosphere of a New York pizzeria. It's casual, there's a counter, you go in, hey, I'll take 2. Oh yeah, okay, 2. They give it, you eat it, and then you just go up to the register at the end, give them a few bucks, and I'm like, that brings me right back to my childhood. Now, you will also notice that there are no toppings on this. I don't like toppings on my New York pizza. It's not what I'm used to, it's not what I grew up with. When I was a kid, we had an expression, toppings are for the rich. I was not rich, so I just had this. It doesn't need the toppings because the cheese here is 100% mozzarella cheese. Now this method you're looking at here, this is the fold over method. This is typically how we would eat it in New York. You pinch the 2 edges, you dip out the oil if there is any. That's it, buddy. New York pizza. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video. We'll get back to it in a second. I just wanted to take a minute to remind you all that we are serious lawyers and we want to work on your case if you have one. So if you've been hurt or if you know someone that's been hurt, you can trust us. Send the case our way. I promise you we're going to take care of you and your friends just like we would take care of our own family. Deep dish pizza. It's what made Chicago famous on the pizza front. That really is a gorgeous sight to be seen and a delicious sight to eat. Now, what makes Chicago deep dish pizza different? A lot of things. First of all, the crust is very different, mostly because it's got cornmeal in it. That's right, it's got that good, gritty, delicious texture that you only get from cornmeal. The cheese goes in first, and it's typically mozzarella cheese on a deep dish. Then comes the sauce. The sauce tends to be a chunkier sauce, and usually you need toppings. It's really designed for meat. The typical meat in Chicago that you put in here would be like a fresh Italian sausage, big chunks of it throughout. I decided to go with some delicious meatballs. Oh, bravo. The ingredients taste so fresh. The sauce, the cheese, the meat, it all just comes out at you. A lot of people don't think you could eat deep dish with your hand and pick it up, but a well-prepared deep dish pizza, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to pick up a slice. Oh my God. There is a Detroit-style pizza, and it's really catching on around the country. Let's dissect it and see what makes it special. First of all, it will come in large squares like this. The dough is actually more like a focaccia bread or a focaccia dough. That goes down first, but the next thing is how they handle the cheese. If you're in Detroit, they're gonna use something called brick cheese. But if you're looking to recreate this at home, you can use a cheese a lot more like a Monterey Jack. And when you lay the cheese out, what they do is they obviously cook this in a pan, and they put the dough in there on the bottom, and the cheese goes all the way to the edges. And the idea is that the cheese drops into the sides of the crust. If you look at this, you see all of this brown part, that nice crust that goes around the edge? That is all crispy cheese. Every piece is gonna come with some of the crust, but of course, everybody's gonna fight for the corners. Detroit pizza typically has very little sauce on it. You can't tell it once it's cooked, but when they're preparing it, they usually just put 3 lines of sauce down the pizza and they just sort of let it cook and spread out as it goes along. Now for this, you might think my instinct is to start there, the interior corner. Absolutely not. I am starting at an external side. I want that good, crispy, crunchy cheese along the edges. Oh God. Hold on, folks. That is so good. It's like, did you ever make a grilled cheese sandwich and some of the cheese oozes off the side and kind of cooks on the pan a little bit and you get that one bite that has that cooked cheese? This is like the whole pizza is like that one bite. You know what's amazing about pizza? They're the only food that's ever associated with a particular type of party. Like, oh, what did you do for your 11th birthday? I had a pizza party. Nobody says I had a chicken noodle soup party. There's no chicken noodle soup parties. Even something good like pudding. I'd go to a pudding party. Nobody has a pudding party. Folks, what have we learned here? We learned that there's a lot of different pizza out there. And you know what? It's all freaking delicious. We have enough things to disagree about in this world. I'm just handing out 4 A+ today. Why not? If you enjoyed this video, or if you just enjoy pizza, go ahead and like the video, share the video, comment on the video, tag your friends, and enjoy your pizza.